Hi, I'm Nigel Griffiths. I work in ATS Power Systems Europe. In this Director 6.3 movie, we're going to have a quick look around and compare it with the previous version, looking at for the subtle changes, and we're going to have a first use of Discovery, Access, Inventory, and the Release Manager to download the current updates for AIX.
So let's quickly log in. My password and user ID is being supplied by Firefox, so I've opted for it to do that for me, and we're in. A couple of things to note in here. We now have a home and a welcome panel on here. The welcome panel is what we first saw when we logged in. A few little reminders of things you can do. It's also telling you that this little arrow here at the bottom, we can move this, so we can slide this across to give us more space, or we can click on the little arrow here to maximize the screen. Up the top here we now have home and welcome. There's two separate things. Home is one I can configure up, and we'll click on that. Okay, and we saw the initial panel here when we first came in with a list of things we should do. At the top here we now have Resource Explorer, which used to be Navigate Resources, and we have a My Startup pages in here. In here we can decide when I log in which tabs across the top automatically come up. I haven't fiddled about with this, it's just the default, and it looks like we're slightly more flexible in what we can do. The list of things down here is much the same, although I notice we have a remote access in here, so we click on there. They've pulled together all the ways that we can automatically log into one of our endpoints. So we have distributed command at the top for power, that would be DSH. File management, so we can log in and look at files and pull them to our workstation or send them up to the host. And some other bits and pieces in here, remote command line and remote control, which I think for power, that's VNC. Okay, now if we go back to home here and we go across the top, we have additional setup items, so reminding us to do things. If we're haven't got a HMC, then we might be using Director to do the electronic service agent and phone home for particular problems. And for power, we tend not to do that. We've got some create the threshold and automated plans. This is good. Acquire updates for discovered systems. Yep, we're going to have to look through these and set them all up as we go. In plugins, we have the various managers of Director. So we have Director itself. This is the best way to check what version of Director we're actually running. And we've got Discovery and Status and Update Manager. Update Manager we're going to use for updating AIX and firmware and HMCs. Automation Manager, a big part of Director where we can automate reactions to particular events, like filling up file systems and automatically growing them a bit and things. We've got remote access again here. We've got storage management. Of course, if we install the storage control plugin, then we'll get a lot more function in here, but this is the basic manager. The same thing for network management as a network control. Power systems, this is one of the views that I particularly like as a power user. Mainframes, well, somebody has to do that. Chassis management, I think that is for the blade centers, and we have this other System X machines, and here the service and support manager. Now, this was a plugin that we had to add in the past. Of course, the default Director install installs this for us, and I guess there's no extra money involved, so it's actually set that up. If we go back up to the top here, we notice we also installed with the base Director the Active Energy Manager and the VM Control. So they're already installed, and this is the button you press to activate that. So you then start your 90-day trial of those two extra high-level manager functions, and so you can decide when you actually want to start that. Perhaps you've got Director running, and then you later on go to add those features. Now, once those have expired, they'll stop working. But if you then want to purchase it and activate it permanently, then we've got already here import license key. And if you bought the license keys for System Director 6.2, they should work with 6.3. Finally, if we look at the Learn tab here, it looks a little bit boring, but if we hover over these things, we get little pop-up windows. Getting started. I think I'll go through all of these. We've got management, access and security, monitoring systems, that sounds good. Automating tasks, good, it will walk us through the details of how we should go about doing that. Managing storage, I'll get my Storewise V7000 online, and that'll be really good. And managing system Z.
That's enough looking around. Let's go and do some discovery, access, inventory, and download some software ready to install. Logged in and got to the initial setup tab and click the update, and off it goes. It's going onto the internet now to check if there's a new version of Director. At this point it's only 2 months after the initial release of 6.3, and there are no updates at the moment. Well, that's to be expected. And now we're going to do systems discovery. The first thing I want to do is the HMCs, and from there, when I do an inventory, it will find all the logical partitions or virtual servers, and from there I can go and connect to the VIO servers and the actual virtual machines themselves. This looks much the same as the older version. Looks slightly nicer, I'm not quite sure why. So here we go, we want a host name, and it's going to be HMC11, and we'll discover now. It's automatically pushed something into the background, the task. I can carry on now and do something else, but in this case I'd actually like to wait, and it's found my machine for me. It's still going here. I'm going to wait until it's finished, that it's discovered all the protocols that I want, and then we'll go into no access and set the password, of course, and give it the HMC password, and then we can do an inventory on it. Okay, job's done. Let's click on no access. And silly me, I'm using padmin here. That's the VO server, isn't it? So we need HSC root in here. I'll just check that I got the right password again, and we'll give it another go. Okay, looks good. I'll just do a left click on the HMC here. We have what we know about it already, and we can start an inventory down here. Collect inventory. This is good. It doesn't give us the inventory because we know there's nothing there. It just says, do you want to run it now? Yes, I do. Well, I just want to put a little note in the task name what the inventory is for, so I can easily check it later that it completed okay. Nice little feature there. I really like that one. We'll come back later and check what's happening. We go into task management, active and scheduled jobs. We can see it here, and it's 100% complete. It doesn't say no errors, so it looks good. Now we can go to Resource Explorer, look up all our systems here, and we can search HMC11. Looks okay. Now we'll look for a machine that we know is on HMC11, make sure that's been collected. Let's just have a little quick look for purple. This is the machine actually running Systems Director itself. There's a whole load of logical partitions. Okay, there they all are. So you found the operating system here of the Systems Director server itself. Even found something that it wants to warn me about. This is pretty cool. Now I'll have to go through these virtual machines and do inventories on them after giving it the access passwords, of course, so I'll do that after the movie, because it gets a bit dull, to be honest, much as we've done with the HMC, or does do with the virtual machines. Let's have a quick look at the Update Manager. Excellent tool for keeping our operating systems, virtualized servers, HMCs, system firmware all up to date. Fortunately, I'm allowed to connect to the internet, so we can go for the first one here. Now we have to select what am I interested in. If we open AIX, what have you got? All of them. Okay, that'll be fine. Slightly differently, not what I remembered before. So, yep, we'll have that. Okay, I'll scroll down and edit connection settings. Let's have a quick look. We can test the connection, but I'm pretty sure that's going to work. Let's just do that now. Okay, it's happy the internet's there. And we'll OK that. Now I'm told by the developers that they've drastically improved the speed of it looking for updates, so we'll just hit OK for that now. So let's go to activities and schedules and make sure that it's running in the background. There it is in the running state, and we'll come back to later to have a look at what updates are available. Okay, and we're back roughly half an hour later. I wasn't paying too much attention, and we're going to check on the updates. Okay, back to the Update Manager. We've searched for all the updates that are available. We can go in to show and install updates if we set things up. I just want to find out what's actually available, so show all update groups here, and we can see it's found 541 updates. Okay, we've got 37 pages of things in here. Let's just search for AIX6, which is 6100 in here. We've got 5 pages here, so I'm usually interested in what's the latest version available for AIX 6.1 today, and it's AIX 6.1 TL7 Service Pack 2. Well, I hope this movie's been useful. This is the website to go to get the best quality movies and the other 100.